San Antonio Independent School District versus Rodriguez, San Antonio, Texas. Does the system of school finance violate the federal constitution? Argued October 12, 1973. The financing of public schools in Texas comes from state and local taxes and participation. Almost half of the revenues come from a largely state-funded program designed to provide the educational essentials. Each district supplements state aid through a tax on property within its jurisdiction. Appealees brought this class action on behalf of school children considered to be members of poor families who reside in school districts having a low property tax base, essentially stating that the Texas system reliance on local property taxation favors the wealthy and violates equal protection requirements. This case was decided on March 21, 1973. The Supreme Court ruled 5-4 against Rodriguez, stating that the system of school finance did not violate the federal constitution and that the issues should be resolved in the state of Texas. The court denied a rehearing on April 23, 1973. Followed the work of the School Improvement League, a San Antonio organization that battled racial and class inequality. Prior to this case, the state of Texas hasn't addressed school finance reform since 1949 when the Gilmer-Aiken laws were passed. On May 16, 1968, 400 students at Edgewood High School in San Antonio held a walkout and demonstration and marched to the district administration's office. 90% of the students in the Edgewood district were of Hispanic descent. Some of the students' complaints were insufficient supplies and the lack of qualified teachers. The walkout led to parents forming the Edgewood District Concerned Parents Association, which sought to address problems in the school. In 1968, 8 parents filed on behalf of Texas school children who were poor or resided in school districts with low property tax base. William Velasquez, an activist in San Antonio, connected the parents group with lawyer Arthur Gachman. Arthur Gachman took this case to the district court, which found that the wealth is a suspect classification and that education is a fundamental right, concluding that the system could be upheld only upon showing that there was a compelling state interest for the system. That decision took this case to the Supreme Court, and lawyer Rodriguez took over from there. Shelby Waller with Eyewitness News. Behind me in this courtroom, an important decision affecting Texas educational laws is about to be made. You can hear a pin drop in this courtroom filled with many to support Rodriguez's claim that the school finance system violates the federal constitution, and many await the results. Among the audience is the State Board of Education, the Commissioner of Education, the State Attorney General, and the Bexar County Board of Trustees, all here to support I'm sorry. Breaking news, this just in. Today, March 21, 1973, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 against Rodriguez, stating that the system of school finance did not violate the federal constitution and that the issue should be resolved by the state of Texas. It is a relief that this case has come to a close, and I can imagine that Rodriguez is feeling very defeated by this decision. Back to you, Shelby Waller, Eyewitness News. The court concluded that Rodriguez failed to demonstrate a reasonable or rational basis for the state system. The Supreme Court also found that the Texas system does not disadvantage any suspect class. It has not been shown to discriminate against any definable class of poor people or discriminations due to the wealth of families in the district. Nor does the Texas school financing system interfere with the exercise of a fundamental right or liberty. Though education is one of the most important services provided by the state, it is not within the limited category of rights recognized by the court as guaranteed by the Constitution. Lastly, the Supreme Court also found that the Texas system does not violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. While assuring a basic education for every child in the state, it permits and encourages participation in and significant control of each district school at the local level. I chose this case because it's close to home. I reside about 45 minutes outside of San Antonio, and as soon as I saw the title of this case, my interest was piqued. I didn't pay close attention to the differences between school districts until I was an adult. Even more than an adult, it wasn't until I was a mother buying a home and I found myself choosing areas to shop in based on school districts. It is important to me as a mother and a future educator that my daughter gets the best education that I can provide. Unfortunately, it is out of the school district's control how well of an education they can provide. They can only do the best they can with the resources available to them. Providing a free public education isn't free. The millions and millions of dollars it takes to provide an education, 2 meals a day, salary for the many educators and administrators a part of it, it comes from the citizens in the district and outside of it. The working citizens are taxed, and heavily. I do think that the current system we have is fair. A state-funded and provided system that gives each school district money to provide the essentials is a remarkable privilege, but that doesn't mean it's enough. That's where property taxes come in, another great addition to the system, because likely at some point residents will have a child or children in the public education system, so that means that we all need to pitch in. And even if you don't have a child go through the public education system, children are always our future, and we are all affected by the future. And yes, property taxes vary based on the value of your property in your home. That's what's great about America. We have a choice. We have a choice to be whoever we want to be, and that means everybody's income varies. If you can provide a lifestyle complete with a $500,000 home, that's great. If you can't, that's great too. That's why the state-funded program is there, to provide the essentials of education. Education has been around for many, many years, and teaching has been done without access to things the wealthier school districts have access to now, such as tablets, computers, regular guest speakers, mentors, etc. America's children are still getting educated with or without the extra bells and whistles, and that is the ultimate goal. We all have access to a free and public education due to the state-funded program, and any education is better than none.